Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid. I'm joined once again by Maryland.
Hello, guys.
And it is turn 48, if I recall. And the world is still in chaos. What can I tell you? What happened last turn, Maryland?
Well, I think one of the biggest news for me was that the Ashdod-Zabala war is turning into a bit of a stalemate.
Yep.
Regarding Pangaea, he's been kind of losing an awful lot of gems in thugs, but he also gained a hell of a lot of thug gear previously. Vanheim, just playing it kind of safe. Jotunheim is under deep distress, but the maneuvers towards the end, and at the end of the session, I had a bit of a glitch with my microphone, so I wasn't able to comment, but I was surprised at Pelagia's move, which was different than I expected. But you commented you think he's blocking a reinforcement by Jotun. And then Ulm finished off Bandar, which brings to Ulm the freedom of action that he was somewhat missing. So now he's a lot more free to pick his next push.
Yeah.
And most likely that'll be, to bash the crap out of Satis.
Yep. Okay, so that's a great point to start on then, because we got a message from Satis, which is a bit rare.
Well, and I don't think it's very cost effective for Ulm to bother mucking with Pan much other than the little lightweight, hold Pan at bay thing that he's been doing.
Yeah. Okay, waiting for the King of Fire so I can kill it. I missed it. It was probably sitting in a fort, I guess, so, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's that. But we should look at we don't have a message from Ulm, so maybe we could look at the Ulm Satis shenanigans.
Yeah, let's take a look. We'll start there this time. So, King of Earth rolling out here.
Oh, look at that.
Full gear.
Okay, well, full-blown SC. Can we look at what he's got on there?
Sure
I mean, people had asked about, how do you build a thug? So he's got triple resist, quad resist on an Earth King, which is damn nice. The Earth King already has decent regen. He's pumped the protection up through the roof. He's and this is all pretty much cheap gear except the Vine Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that for Ulm costs a single gem each.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking at his total cost 6. Yeah, good grief. I mean, so that's a tough thing to kill with all resist. Some of them will be smaller, but Ulm also has some options for casting some buff spells to improve that.
Yeah, it's
How did he get Earth 6? Did he empower it? His basic Earth is 6.
Did they start off as 5?
Yeah. Oh, it had already cast Earth Power.
Yeah.
When I looked at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We
He
don't
takes
need
that.
to see it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wipeout. That's a pretty good gear setup on an Earth King.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Did Pangaea move an army out here? I'm sorry. I can't help but look. Oh my god, he did.
Oh no.
All right, get out the popcorn, boys.
We were going to do almost Satis, and then you see this, and it's
we can't unsee this. All right. I could hold it in suspense, but y'all are going to be looking at that province to see how it turns out. So.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good grief. All right.
Okay, so let's take a look. We've got this guy with... I think there's going to be too much stuff. We'll look at more... And we're not going to speculate on what each mage is going to do. We'll just have to stop at each round and see what they've actually done. But we know Pangaea is planning on doing Marble Warriors and Weapons of Sharpness, Strength of Giants, Legions of Steel.
Exactly.
On a bunch of White Centaur. Vanheim, the big thing he has now is Darkness. I don't think he has Mass Protection or anything like that yet. I think he's still at Alt 6, not Alt 7.
Well, I'm seeing a witch, so a little bit of earth down there.
Yeah.
And some sages, a witch and some sages.
Yeah,
so that's some earth, another witch, and more sages.
I think the thing is, he's got a lot of mages here. Like if we look at just the commanders, we've got... Oh, that's a funny name for the Dryad. Kidnapping. So, like,
The theft of a longship.
yeah.
Uttering curses. Okay.
Assault on a commanding officer. It's got some
I'm gonna have
names.
to make a habit of renaming my guys. I have a tendency not to do that.
Yeah. But if you look at look at this flag column here, Maryland. And look, this first screen looks a little balanced. It's about half and half. Brings us down to Ingvar the Sage.
And then...
But after that...
Yeah.
All Vanheim.
Well, and look at how many death and earth and nature magi that Vanheim has rolled out, besides his typical air magi.
Yeah, it's a lot. And these guys, that's one of the things, like, these mages are so good on the defense. You know, even if you didn't have the Earth boots, you spend 1 gem, summon Earth Power, and then you can spend 1 gem for each time you cast Strength of Giants or Legions of Steel. And it doesn't make sense to do stuff like that on a long offensive war, but when you know you're probably going to have a fight on the defense, let's just see what happens here.
Okay, poison resistance is going up. The small one.
Bunch of storm power. That means we can expect Viking or Storm very soon. So there goes Storm.
Creeping Dooms and a Howl, I expect, or is that a Foul Vapors? In the battle.
Foul Vapors already. So turn 1 Foul Vapors.
And a few Valkyries right in the back, right off the bat.
Wow, they've already got a bunch of, oh my god. There's a pretty good amount of poison resistance. The area of effect spell already laid down. He doesn't have Serpent's Blessing, but nevertheless, he's cast a bunch of Poison Ward. We can probably see it if we come in here.
Yep.
And with Storm up, he's got some of these Valkyries that have landed in the back, and they're going to cause a huge distraction for any of Pan's stuff that's going to be on attack closest.
Yeah.
Those javelins are firing out, though. Okay, I heard a bunch of air elementals. You can't hear the audio, but...
Did you?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Oh, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god, look at all
6,
these here.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm getting 11 already.
Yeah, here we are. Look at all these. And I think that's just the first salvo.
Yeah, exactly. And here they go.
And Darkness is probably about to hit. We have Wailing Winds up.
Smack dab in the middle of everything.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly how you want it. But Darkness is gone now. So, with... Oh, Storm has gone down. Oh, no, it's still up. It's still up.
No.
Okay.
No. Do we have 2 Howls?
So, with Storm up, these guys have 18 defense. Because they're getting the Storm bonus.
Right.
And these guys are going to have a huge stat penalty. So all of a sudden, they're now going to be pretty hard to hit.
What are the other 2 green? Can you pause and look over the battle enchants for a sec?
Yeah.
I'm thinking 2 Howls of Darkness, Wailing Winds.
Howl, yeah, 2 Pals.
On both sides.
And then Foul Vapors.
Foul Vapors. And a Storm. Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, the Darkness makes it a little hard to see what's happening.
Well, the other thing is, the last time, one of the things that went wrong was Vanheim's front line collapsed, allowing the Centaurs to go around it. This time, it's not collapsing. His front line is holding. And the Einheers
and these are
quite nice.
Scary units. I mean, I guess the thing is, once they go berserk, well, basically Darkness is going to cancel out on the, these guys get minus attack and defense, and these guys get minus attack and defense. So, for the Einhairs, it's not really a penalty against the White Centaur.
But look at their damage.
But yeah, they hit so goddamn hard. And the White Centaur, once they go berserk, only have 11 defense. So these guys are going to be hitting them pretty damn constantly. But let's take a look at some of these. They've got... Okay, this guy has Marble Warriors cast on him, plus he's berserk.
Right.
So he's at 22 protection. Does not have Blood Surge active yet. But Some of these also had weapons of sharpness on them, so we can see that here.
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder if we can find one that has all the buffs. Okay, this guy has gone berserk and has blood surge active, but and has weapons. So this guy is like, yeah, this is like as beefy as they can get. This dude. Unfortunately for him, he's at a corner where he's surrounded by Einherrs. He's almost dead. Yeah. Rest in peace. Einherrs are good units. What was that?
The bands are holding the line. Word of power.
That nature thing that was coming on. I was wondering what that was.
More. Do you think it's more poison word?
I don't know.
Oh, sleep cloud. You can increase the size of that list.
Oh right? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, or you can use arrow keys up and down. Hit your question mark. There's a way to scroll up and down the log.
Okay.
Scroll the log. Plus and minus. There you go.
Oh, how about that? That's cool. I never knew that.
Air element, holy word. Yeah. Vine arrows. Mass. I saw a mass something. I thought there was a way to make it a little bigger too. You can make it
mass
more,
protection.
Mass protection.
That's probably
That's
what we saw.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we saw go up. Okay.
Let's take a look at the back line over here. These Valkyries are still hanging out back here. And the air elementals are still running around.
I think that's the darkness for the Valkyries.
Yeah.
Because unlike last time, plus there's no white centers in the and I see Hierophants running away already.
Oh, right, because Wailing Winds.
Yeah.
And, I mean, these air elementals, while I don't think they're doing critical damage, because they're just mucking around with dryads and imps, the mages are shooting stuff at them. They're wasting a lot of mage turns.
Yeah.
And, oh my god.
And
there used to be a white centaur line here. It is gone.
It's collapsed.
These Einherr have fucked that line up. They've gotten the berserk, and they've been hit with strength of giants, and they're hitting so goddamn hard. You know what didn't happen? Is Fog Warriors didn't happen, I don't think.
Oh, that guy's got broken armor. No, is that broken armor? No, that's...
Marilyn, am I wrong? Did Fog Warriors did not go up?
No Fog Warriors.
You know what else is not present? Pangaea's god.
That's correct.
Pangaea would not have taken this fight without his god.
Where did it go?
I think it got assassinated.
Oh boy. Thunderstrikes.
See, this would have been a completely different fight. Maybe not completely. It would have been a very different fight with Fog Warriors. Because these Einherr wouldn't be able to hit through it. You know, they would be doing chip damage, and this flank of Pangaea would not have collapsed.
No. That top flank is gone. The Valkyries are still blocking retreat.
Yeah, wow.
So they got 3 pans trapped. There's still air elementals in the fight.
Yeah.
All of the white centaurs are dead. That's it. No, there's like 3 or 4 left. Okay, so some of the pans are getting... The Pandemoniac got away.
Oh my god.
Some of the pans might... No, it's too late. Oh, maybe that pan will get away. Well, a reasonable number of pans Magi did get away, but almost nothing for troops. Oh
my god.
Wow. Well, I don't think there's too much more to say about that. You're going to watch it again.
Well, I want to see if his god's here, because his god might have had a returning thing on him.
No. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. And that probably cost him another white centaur. His H3.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. We'll look around here, because
Prophet X. I don't see a god. Frostfather, he's at home. What? He didn't bring him. He did not bring the Frostfather.
There's some other very slight ways, like if he had Ritual of Returning on his Frostfather, you know, it could have been he got hit by a Seeking Arrow or something, but that's pretty unlikely.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, that's like very low chance.
Could be something like that.
Yeah. I can't imagine, though.
Well, just do...
Why would Pan take this fight without his god? Because he'd been running around with his god for forever. You know, he was thinking about maybe doing a Vengeful Water play, which he would need his god for at home. But... Ooh.
That was brutal.
Let's examine this report. So the White Centaur killed 107. Basically everything that died here died to a White Centaur.
And it was mostly Einhirs.
Yeah.
Which are kind of infinitely replaceable.
Now they're expensive. So let's do the gold loss, because this is a really important fight. This is 2,500 gold of Einhirs that died.
Okay, let me get my calculator out. So Einhirs, 2,500. Whoop.
On top of that, we've got about 150 gold of Valkyries, and about, we'll call it 250 gold of Vans.
Yeah, it's 260. Or 240 actually, but anyways, yeah. And then
these two guys, we'll call this what 350 350 for mages total.
Oh, okay.
I'm just winging it to get it kind of close, but that must put us right at around what, like high 3,000s for gold loss for Vanheim.
Yeah, about 3,100.
3,100. Okay. Okay. On Pangaea's side, it's 81 of these dudes. So that's what's 81 times 55.
Oh no, something went wrong here. I gotta start again.
Okay, 81 times 55.
4,700.
Yoink.
Right off the top.
Yeah. Okay, the Meneids are free. The Revelers, it's 15 gold a pop, so that's 8 times 15. That's probably
keep going.
Okay, and then the Harpies, 7 gold a pop,
7
times 15. Only lost
Dryads
2 of the Pans. Now he probably lost more on the retreat, but I think a lot of this was Wailing Winds coming in here, getting the Mage Core to run.
Yeah. So it was 610 for those.
So yeah, 600 gold a Pans, and then the Dryads are expensive, right? They're 220. So 5. That's another 1,000. That's another 1,100 gold to Dryads.
And then Hierophants.
240 of them. So it looks like it's about what?
It's just short of 7,000.
Oh, okay.
Just
over 6,000. Okay.
So about almost a 2-to-1 gold loss.
Yeah.
But the other really important factor is cap only recruitment.
Yep.
You know, that's 10 turns of cap only recruitment, or maybe 9. But
yeah, it's critical damage to Pangaea, because now the question is, how do you kill this stack when it goes on the offense? When you don't... I mean, Pangaea's strategy... I mean, he's got lots of little strategies, right? But for fighting big armies, his strategy is buff the hell out of White Centaur and let them kill everything.
Exactly.
And they kind of got wrecked here. And I don't think he's got more to speak of.
No.
Because before that big fight on his capital, he had lost at least 40 White Centaur, right? With the raiding with Vanheim. Over here with End, he had lost like another 40. And I don't remember how many he lost in the fight. He lost a fair number, maybe like 20 or something in the fight.
I'm kind of estimating he's lost 300 of them so far this game.
He's got basically none left. He probably my guess is he has no more than 40 left on the whole map.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I am really surprised that he made that play to try to take that throne. I mean, what's the hurry?
I think he was thinking, why would Vanheim risk patrolling when they could just let me get on top of the fort and then leave? Like, they don't... Vanheim doesn't need to patrol. There's no reason for them to patrol, really, and, you know... You know, they can let him come on top and they'll know exactly what he's bringing, and then they get even more prepared for a fight. Like, I think he was just counting on Vanheim not patrolling.
And he was wrong.
Yeah. And then
Painfully.
And maybe he tricks Vanheim a little bit, because Vanheim's like, oh, his god's not here. And then he magic phases his god in or something. You know?
Could be. Or grab the... put it under siege when it's not being patrolled, kill the PD, and leave behind just a trap.
Right.
Like a foul vapors trap.
Yeah.
And do some attrition. But it didn't work.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, somebody guessed lucky and somebody guessed not, because I don't remember seeing any scouts patrolled away on that throne last turn. And I would have expected
Pan pinged this last turn, I think. Oh, no, he had last turn. So, but the 2 turns ago, he pinged it with the scout. Last turn, he sent a thug on top. And this was the 30 gem thug. It was an expensive thug. And it was killed.
PD killed.
Yeah. It was PD plus like 10 Einhair. Like, Van was doing low commitment patrolling on his cap.
So maybe that ping gave away his plan. I mean, Kris must have read that ping thinking, he's going to make the try.
Yeah, maybe he was looking at it, he's like, okay, why would he risk a 30 gem thug? Well, he was hoping he could get rid of the PD, and then when I come to kick him off, he's going to bring his whole army in. And then Pan's like, I'll just bring my whole army in anyway.
Wow. Oh, boy.
But this, I think, brings in, like, existential questions for Pangaea. And by existential, I mean, will he continue to exist?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Vanheim's dominant army there is 2 turns from Pangaea's capital. That's it.
Yeah, or maybe 3.
Oh, 3. Yeah. 3.
But, I think if you're Pangaea, you start having to turn all your gems into troops right now. Like, try to get something. And...
Wow.
Or maybe he has some research that's coming up that's going to shift things. I just don't know. Like, the strategy of buffing your troops when you don't have any troops left to buff, like, I don't know what he's going to do.
That doesn't work. Well, he's got a lot of gear, so I guess he thugs.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, my God.
He does a lot of thugs, because he's got a lot of gear, although he lost a lot last turn.
Yeah. I mean, Maryland, this has been the biggest roller coaster ride. We had, first of all, you remember this all started out, Pangaea was way out of position for a Vanheim attack.
And he got back in time.
Vanheim is on top of his cap, has cracked his fort, isn't sure if Pangaea's made it back in time, because there's a bunch of stealthy White Centaur trying to get back to his cap before he's cracked it. The turn he cracks it, he YOLOs in.
Well, that was 43.
Yeah.
And he YOLOs in and he wipes Vanheim out.
Right.
Although, not cheaply. But he knocks the stuffing out of Vanheim on top of his cap. He surprises us because he gets the White Centaurs back in time.
Right.
And if I remember right, he had a single turn left to save his capital.
Right. And, you know, it's like, boom, crushes Vanheim, right? Then is retaking stuff. And then only a couple turns ago, he killed 300 gems worth of Vanheim thugs.
Yeah, right? The magic phase airdrop with the screw up with the Frostfather. And so he gets a little cocky.
Right.
Panic. Gets a little cocky, thinks, I could do that again.
Thinks it's all over, and now he's hit such a rock bottom. I mean, oh my God. I'm without words. I am without words.
What would you do if you were Pelagia right now? If I was Pelagia right now and Vanheim told me about this, I'd be taking every Seacoast province I could take. I'd just be snapping them up for gold.
Well, interestingly, he's moved on top of this fort. Well, let's not...
Oh, okay.
We'll come back. Let's finish the Ulm statistic, and then we'll look at Pelagia, because I think it's a very interesting question you ask.
Well, I was just thinking, like, how does this play to the metagame or the large scale strategy? Who knows? I mean, how much is Vanheim going to tell his neighbors? And how much did they see? Because this is an opportunity for Ulm. This is an opportunity for Ind. Because now that dangerous White Centaur army is no longer around.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for Pelagia. So the chance of just poaching is available to all three of those nations. I don't think Ashdod can, but just in terms of what Pan has to face now, he's now so weakened that he's kind of ripe for the plucking.
Yeah, I think it switches. I think people stop looking at this as like, oh, we need a coalition Pan because it's scary, to, oh man, we can eat this. It's tasty looking.
Yeah. Free land. Free land. Let's go.
Okay, to give a hint at what I think Pelagia might do, if Pelagia probably wouldn't be sad at all if Vanheim comes in and finishes off Pangaea, because not only will that mean they're going to get access to the coastline, but if Vanheim gets a good bit of this land, then Pelagia can probably diplo the world into everybody versus everybody versus Vanheim. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably what they want to do. They probably want Vanheim to get big enough they can turn the world on them. The problem with that is, like, I don't think the world's ready to turn on Vanheim yet. Ulm and Satis have to resolve things, and Ashdod and Xibalba have to resolve things, and both of those things are going to take at least 10 more turns.
So, while we're kind of still on Pan, a couple things I'd like to check. Can we glance at messages, anything from Pan or Van?
Yeah, let's look at that. We'll do that. I want to come back to Satis, though.
Well, yeah, but we ended up seeing this.
Someone let Neuro have water after midnight or whatever. It's not supposed to do with... It's not... Oh, wait. Or whatever it is you're not supposed to do with gremlins. And she renamed the commander to Vanheim. The commander's attacking Vanheim to fit some narrative about punishing them under Viking law. Okay, so we had noticed, actually, the cute commander names, even though I can't read it.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah.
On both sides, yeah.
Cabal thinks the army on that fort is being fluffed up by plus army items. Oh. Rip.
Oh.
Rip.
Oh.
I think we can say the answer to that is nope.
No.
But I'm not sure, since we did see a fair few Einherjar moved in there. He ought to have Gateway by now, too. While losing 400 gems of gear, 80 gems of gear, and 30 gems of magic phase movement, plus his entire sacred pile over the last 3 turns is something of a setback. Vanheim's backing up his war with a larger and largely uncontested economy. Which is true. He's got a ton more, like at least 30% more gem income than Pangaea, and he's in a one-front war. I've already seen his Storm Demon summoning province. Oh, we were wondering about that. We haven't really looked. And some blood hunting operations, so he is indeed working on the transition to late game. While losing another pile of Jarls and Einherjar would hurt, they're ultimately more replaceable than my White Centaur are. So he may be willing to risk another big brawl, especially now that he has Wailing Winds.
Okay. And
Vanheim.
And what is that?
I have set up a strong defense of the throne, with magic duels to hopefully kill any mages, including his pretender who casts Fog Warriors. Without him having Fog Warriors, I think I can easily win with 150 Einherjar and 30 PD and about 50 Sacreds, since I will both have Darkness and Wailing Winds. Even if he does get Fog Warriors off, I have a lot of Earth mages casting Maws of the Earth, which should get rid of it on a lot of his White Centaur. I'll also have a lot of Air Elementals, which will benefit greatly from Storm plus Darkness. He may not attack, but that's fine. I'll at least then patrol out all his Dryads, and in the meantime, I will hopefully kill them as I have Valkyries set to attack rear. Next turn, I will also have Fog Warriors and Mass Protection. Ooh.
Oh, so he didn't have the spell. Why he didn't
this here is a huge reason to not patrol this turn, because it's like, if you're going to have the big fight, wait until you have Fog Warriors and Mass Protection. But he felt comfortable enough that he would beat that stack that he did it anyway, and he was right.
He was.
And
He
was
didn't
right.
need his magic duels.
Was there anything? There were no air mages here, so he didn't need them. That was what I was coming to the double take on.
Well, no, but he thought that the chance of there being an astral air mage was possible.
Yeah. Oh my God, Marilyn. Pangaea is in big fucking trouble. Because imagine these Einherjar now with Fog Warriors on them.
Yep.
They're going to be tearing stuff apart. And, Pangaea does have magic weapons, but he doesn't have any White Centaur to benefit from it.
Whoa.
Well,
scary.
I appreciate the show, guys. That was an epic series of turns.
So are we gonna finish
here's
up
some storm
Pan?
demons.
Okay. If we're gonna finish up Pan, I had a couple of things related to it.
What you got?
I'd like to have a quick look at the Arby graph.
Yeah, it actually didn't go down much. I was just peeking at it. Just went down the tiniest bit. Now, part of that is because he's been summoning or recruiting a ton of these cataphracts over here to deal with End.
Right.
Which are expensive. And he's been getting harpies to get his blood hunting operation back going again.
Okay, well, that didn't do a heck of a lot. The other one was just a quick glance at globals. Has there been any changes?
Nope.
No changes. Okay. Okay, those were the only two things I was just curious about. I would imagine the province graph pans back up significantly because he counter-rated a whole bunch of stuff.
But he got some stuff rated away from him. I think it's a bit of a draw on the province graph. Oh, no, he's up some.
He's up quite a bit.
Yeah, and it looks like he got it from Vanheim mostly. But
yeah, but only a little.
But, I mean, that's going to be fleeting as hell now that army's gone.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
All right.
Let's come back down and finish off Ulm Statistics. I don't think there's too much to talk about, but let's just take a gander. Oh, wow. Wow.
Okay. What happened here?
Foul Vapors is what happened. And Swarm, it looks like.
And what's on the Ulm side? Oh, that's moderate.
Some PD, but he's had some sappers here.
Yeah, it's a pretty little army.
It's like Ulm, Foul Vapors, Nightmares. Yeah. 23 Slingers.
Yeah, that's pretty minimal.
But, I mean, you add it all up, it's 500 gold of stuff for Statis losing like one death gem worth of Long Dead.
Yeah, it adds up.
Here, he took this back. It looks like... Let's see if he was able to actually cast Serpent's Blessing here. I wonder if he's got the gear for it. Oh, yeah, he does.
Probably.
He's got a Communion Matrix.
He probably doesn't use any gems.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't bother. He wasted on Healing Light.
Yeah, he's got these guys with the... Okay,
Matrices.
wow. Yeah, so this guy's actually effectively Nature 4. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Something on Ulm's fort there. Ooh, that one didn't work. There goes the Serpent's Blessing. So the Foul Vapors is not going to amount to anything. And the Marsh Master's probably fatigued out, doesn't get to run away. Is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's pretty likely. 130 fatigue. He might wake up pretty soon.
No. Oh, lucky arrow.
Yeah, gets zapped. Doesn't kill anything. No. And this is the thing. Like once, how many of these stacks can Ulm have? I'm not sure. It's not an infinite number, because he's only got so many nature mages. But I
would figure since he has to roll out the shaman, I think he could do 3 of these.
Yeah,
maybe 4.
But you can see that where he has it, Statis just gets crushed. Yeah. So.
Some scouts. Okay. So that was that.
Otherwise, it's quieted down, I think.
It's not going too far. Wonder where his god is. He's probably moving it forward again.
Netter of Chaos. He was back at his capital before. Okay, it's still here. Because you remember it got zapped home with returning.
Yeah, it got returning. I'm also wondering where that King of Fire is. Supposedly Elm got a King of Fire. See it.
Oh, it's here.
King of Flame. Okay, so he must be gearing it up and figuring out what he's going to do with it.
You know, I think if you're Ulm, you've got Bandar Log killed now. This guy's on the back foot, so you can maybe do a bit more vulturing. Like, maybe you plan to come over and take... I don't know if you can... Maybe you get this throne, or certainly you get a couple more things over here. I think you actually make it... Like, Ulm has to be really aggressive right now, in my opinion, finish off Satis.
Yeah, that's my play. If I was Ulm, I'd be eating Satis right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, he looks like he's kind of happy to chill and just fend off the raiders, but, you know, like, what is Satis going to do when he has Foul Vapor? I mean, when he has Serpent's Blessing and Fog Warriors and a bunch of, you know, Banishment spam and Iron Blizzard spam and all of this coming out, and, you know, Firestorm. He has Firestorm. Like, what does Satis do against Fog Warriors, Firestorm, Ulm? I have no idea. I'm going to get wrecked.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Satis is going to get wrecked now. Okay.
But I think the risk for Ulm, and somebody was mentioning this in the comments of one of the videos recently, the risk for Ulm is he's not going to be aggressive enough right now, because time is not on Ulm's side. Ulm has to make plays now.
Yeah, that was a comment a few days ago that Ulm is in that magic zone where his power is peaking.
Right.
Compared to other nations.
So we'll see. But I think that's covered that. So we probably need to go next to the End Ulm conflict. We have a message from End. Pangaea conflict. So Agartha finally falls. 4 to 5 turns later than I'd hoped due to the pan attack. Was trying to Jimbait one last time as I didn't want it to fight his elementals in maws. But he sallied out. He had sent like a few guys inside. Those were actually just the Jimbait.
Yeah, it was the two magi. It was just gem bait. Okay.
We probably should have
just trying to burn his gems.
Yeah. Still pretty good war. Lost about 120 sacreds and a few mages in total. Gained a lot more. It did take me a long time, which put me behind in research. But Agartha is a tough nation to take down 1v1. Was kind of hoping he dumped his earth gems and statues that I would have wrecked with astral earth mages and crossbows, but sadly he didn't. Size 6 elementals and golem domain were a lot harder to deal with in addition to flame spawn. Luckily for me, it was hard for him to use flame spawn due to fire aura, and that meant in the end the spawn did a lot of damage to Agartha as well. I would recommend getting at least minor fire resistance on the bless. Anyways, good game, well played.
You were wondering about the shatter. Well, now we see why he scripted shatter. He was expecting statues.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good. Do we have a final message from Agartha? We don't. But let's go to End here and watch. Let's see. The Throne of Water. So this is Ashdod, I think.
Okay.
Okay, we've got a battle in Ashdod.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, just sending in the god. Yeah, I guess why risk anything else? Yeah, this will do it.
Body ethereal, it can go through the wall, and off it goes.
One thing that's kind of funny is the Agartha wall defenders will fuck you up. You send thugs in, these guys have 31 damage boulders.
Yeah.
Now he's got enough protection, it'll be okay, but...
Oh, blam, blam, blam. Good grief. And that's that.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Good. So, man, we've got... last turn we had Bandar Log dying. This turn we've got Agartha dying.
Yeah. Yeah. All he's got left is 2 empty forts.
Game state advancing. Yeah.
Oh, I noticed that End was extremely confident, so he took his major siege army and moved it off.
Yep.
So he's going to go finish off that other fort before he gets interrupted by Pan.
Yeah, and before I had been saying End is going to want peace with Pan, probably more than Pan wants peace with End. That may change now, because with all the White Centaur on the whole game being gone, maybe End can make it. I did not think until this particular turn End was going to be able to make a play and, like, let's say, take this throne from Pangaea, which is what he said he wanted to make peace. He wanted the golden throne. Now it looks like it's in the cards.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the mobility of those White Centaur armies was part of Pan's saving grace. He's still got mobility with the cataphracts, but it's not as nice.
Yeah, and you know, part of the problem with this for End is that a lot of the remaining, you know, before, if you were to like look at a graph of where is Pan's military might, it was on the Vanheim front. Well, that's all been wiped out. Now the strongest stuff Pangaea has actually is on his front, because he's been building cataphracts up here since he took all his White Centaur out.
I got to take a wee bio break, but I just noticed End's rolling out some angels now.
Yeah, we've got we've got the Dark Knight here. Cruise control for cool. Oh, and a lifelong protection. And then these with anti-thug gear. Wow. This is an interesting setup. So this guy's going to be spamming out Horde of Skeletons. And they've got Iron Warriors dropping on these guys. Okay, these guys have both been hit by Iron Warriors. These guys have been hit by Iron Warriors. And then the thugs roll out. And these are going to actually be some very scary thugs. They've got Frostbrand and Flesh Eaters and a Dancing Trident and a Thunder Whip. Yeah, they're going to be quite scary.
Ooh. And they take out the... Oh, look at that whack.
Just whacked him. Okay, Rip Dark Knight. Now, that was all free gear, so it's hard to say it cost anything, but...
There's Bogus.
Bogus is rolling out, and Bogus actually just has the most budget, and they've basically taken all the gear off him, but he's accompanied by a Dryad with lifelong protection, who's going to do Creeping Doom. But most of the bugs are already dead.
Nope. Bogus almost died.
Did he? He's pretty...
no.
He's got 8 HP regen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he takes this fight.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Pan lost a bunch... I mean, End lost a bunch of... This is free spawn for them. They don't care.
Right.
So all in all, a turn in the favor of End, though a bit back and forth. You know, killing this guy was certainly more about... Because he probably got some of the gear, too. Was certainly more valuable than losing this squad.
Well, and he's... Again, we talk about the freedom of action. Now he's freed up off Agartha's capital, so that's a big deal.
Yeah. I'm rolling out to the north.
That's a really big deal. Yeah. And his god is now available to move around.
Yeah.
You know, and that seems to be pretty fast. Could we pop back briefly?
Yeah, the god can magic face this turn. That's a pretty significant thing.
Can we look at him again? I'm curious about a couple things. His map move, the god in that
Oh, the
fight.
god? Oh, it's fast, man.
Yeah, map move 26 plus...
I mean, we can look at the paths, but it's got magic. I mean, it's a rainbow. Like, this is a scary-ass god. Look at that guy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, Soul Vortex, Teleport, you know, any spell you want to cast, it can cast. It is a Rainbow Titan. Yeah.
Wow. Son of a gun. Huh.
Yeah. So, you know, Pangaea has to be worried about that thing magic phasing on top of any one of his provinces, like here or here. Which
anywhere there's an army out in the open.
Yeah. Which, you know, once he gets like enough lifelong protection stuff, I mean, not lifelong protection, life for life, his bloodhunting provinces can be pretty safe from that, but he doesn't have that yet. And I highly doubt anything here is going to have much to say to that god.
No.
Unless he's got the random, you know, Holy Scourge wielding dude just hanging out.
Something I'm interested. I haven't noticed. I would have thought that Pan, with his pretty good nature income, would be pumping out Lamias.
Yeah, maybe
Lamia
he hasn't. Yeah,
Lamia queens to increase his blood hunting, but I haven't seen any Lamia queens. It seems sort of one of the obvious possibilities.
I mean, they're kind of expensive. I mean, you do have pandemonics you get out of your cap to do blood hunting, which are going to be better, more reliable blood hunters than Lamia queens. But I mean, if anything, maybe you spam transformation to get some of the upkeep costs taken out of those pandemonics.
Yeah, that's an option as well.
Yeah. Because that's the nice thing about Lamia queens is they don't cost any upkeep.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, that was just a thought.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it's an optimal move. It's just that he has had Mother Oak up forever. Now he does burn a heck of a lot of nature gems in combat.
Right. And so probably in all the assassin shenanigans we haven't been able to see. So.
Exactly. A couple of nature gems every time he assassinates.
All right, I think let's move to the Ashdod-Zabala conflict. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Well, it appears no amount of hot garbage can take that Xibalban fort, so we give up the dream of a quick push to his cap. There's a new battle cry, friends. Free our god. Oh, yeah, this is God's trapped on that
Well, we
fort.
talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that a great deal.
Yeah.
Bane Lords with Behemoth Brutes, enlarged, ethereal. That's an interesting possibility.
Okay, so I'm pumping out Bane Lords for army support, planning to fluff them as surprise tramplers. Behemoth Boots, Amulet of Giants, enlarge. I guess. They'll be raiders. Okay. I mean, actually, that's probably pretty good. Trample is pretty good against Skelly spam. The problem is if you're sending it against Xibalba, you run the risk of running them into death mages. Which is what he's saying. Okay, they'll be susceptible to dust to dust, but hopefully the death mages will be mostly spent, because I guess they're going to go in at turn 5, and mostly they'll be fatigued out.
Yeah. So that's an advantage to doing it that way for tramplers.
Right.
You've got more control over when they move.
Yeah. Also, second Blood 2 headed to drop Seir, headed to cap to drop Seir. That'll be 10 Seir a turn if I can keep some blood hunting operations up. First Hashmel is ordered this turn too, starting to have some additional threat vectors come online to hopefully push through. I see Xibalba massing archers, so Slinger Chaff is likely to be exclusively for patrol and blood hunting going forward. Need to finish Aught 6 for Arrowfiend. I'm pretty sure Arrowfiend is enchantment, my friend. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Whoops.
Maybe just a typo.
Yeah, maybe. I hate everything about the standard Ashdod troops, but have decided that Bash Knights are less atrocious versus Archers and Skelly spam. Just compare with Jotun Herdmen or Naba Elite of Infantry. They're not as good, yet just as expensive, plus have Gluttony. I suppose this is the real reason to go for a Hellblast Ashdod, is to save yourself from the Scales troops options. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think when you look at troops, you also have to factor in the mages you get. Not only just because, the mages are also valuable, but the mages are also potentially going to be buffing up your troops. And Ashdod has pretty good buffs.
Which ones he been running? I mean, obviously, he's been going for his
Let's take a look. He was talking about...
Bashamites. He's talking changing up the Bashamites.
Yeah, these guys. 50 gold.
Okay.
I mean, they're fine. Their protection isn't great. Yeah.
Yeah, but
they've got a lot of, if I were to cover up the HP and strength, the rest of these are Indeed level stats.
Yeah, the stats are nothing too special, but they're giants.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with these guys?
Yeah, these guys look fine. Low morale.
Low morale.
Yeah.
He made that. What's the morale on the Bashamites?
14.
14.
I mean, morale you can fix though, man. You put them on a good leader. I think these guys are really good leaders. Yeah, 120.
True.
And then you put some morale items on them. Yeah, you put morale items on them. But you're right. Are these guys? Yeah. No, I'd probably take the other dudes.
I don't think poison's too good against Sib. I don't see those great bows used very often.
Yeah, can we? You can imagine them being useful. You know, you get a lot of time to buff them.
But you only get one. You could get 4 other archers, or 5 or 6 slingers for each of those great bows.
Right. But he's switching into Sayir too, so he should have plenty of good troop options. I mean, Sayir are disgusting.
Okay. That sounds solid.
I don't know if we finished his message.
He had a second message. Yeah, we finished this one. This is where he says about the Edomites. He doesn't want to use them because of the wailing winds.
Okay, yep.
That's what I was looking at.
Addendum. Oops, meant to say enchantment 6 for Arrowfin. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Typo.
There we go. Typo. Okay, so let's take a look at the war. Here he pings this, and we'll see what Xibalba is defending with. He had an army that potentially could have attacked here, and this is the highest commitment thing we've seen from Xibalba so far.
I have not seen Xibalba put a single army anywhere near this size up before.
Yeah, he's got the Frozen Heart Spammers in the front. He's got some Muke in the middle, some crossbowmen on sparse line, archers on sparse line. Bunch of water gems on that guy.
Interesting pronunciation you did there, Muke. I actually like that better than I usually say much, but I think you're right. W. Muke makes more sense.
I have no idea. I just assume I say probably half the things wrong, and then
whatever.
I'll take my sticks and stones beating on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people just get a kick out of it.
So the army that was here, he went and patrolled here, but he moved that army on top of this to potentially free the god. And he's got another turn he can now storm. Storming this turn potentially could go a lot better. He could take it this turn, because there's a few things that are X factors here. Last turn, he killed a bunch of the Camazotz, right? So the defense inside the fort could be a lot lower. However, Xibalba this past turn could have stealth moved in a bunch more Camazotz or Rays. So that we don't know.
But that's about all he could get in there.
And it's also possible Ashdod took his, he learned his lesson from trying to storm that previous fort. And maybe he's got, a bunch of guys with a bunch more gems that, he's got Anakites here now. So maybe he puts the Anakites to fill up the gate. Maybe he summons some more elementals. Maybe he makes some more guys ethereal, like you were saying.
Well, maybe if he could put a squad of Anakites down in the lower flank and then body ethereal them and have them go through the wall, top or bottom.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
That's a great idea. Some bat raiding, going about how bat raiding normally does. The bats are like, oh, let's attack rear. And Ashdod's like, we have an Anakite commander. And the bats are like, oh no, it's an Anakite commander, run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's bats.
Yeah, that's bats. That's bats.
They're cheap.
Can't take 4 PD. All right, man, there's 4 PD.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. That's bats and Dominion's 5. Oi. Okay, I think we've covered this war. There's not much that's happened.
Did we read Xibalba's message?
Did they have one? Oh, they did. The defense of 12 continues. Smiley face. So this must be 12. Yeah,
okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, no, he deserves to be a little cheeky after that turnaround he had last turn.
I guess that's about it for these two. They're, there's maneuvering going on and significant. So there's 2 roughly equal, it looks like, kind of armies sort of facing off a province apart.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next?
We'll find out. We'll have to tune back in next turn for that. I think the only thing we have left for this turn, Maryland, is to talk about Jotunheim and Pelagia.
Absolutely.
Did we get messages from either of them? We did not.
No. Did we read N's message? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So we'll start with this, because this potentially could have been a bump, because he's moving this. Last turn, let's go back. Last turn, Pelagia's army, which is here, was here. So that
That's
army
right.
potentially could have come here. So when Jotun moved this army here, he probably wasn't expecting to fight Pelagia, but he knew that he might. So let's see what he's bringing.
But hang on. I'm just wondering, is that both of those armies combined? No, because
No.
the one that was in that fort couldn't have got there.
No, I don't think it could have. So this is interesting. He's got a front line. This is, by the way, like a very standard way to see any of the Nephil nations set up. A lot of times you want to have a front line, which is going to keep the fight away from your Turbo Communion. And then he's got a bunch of guys on Guard Commander that are surrounding basically the Turbo Communion. And he's got the Turbo Communion split up into two blobs.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the two spear guys, giants way up front, are probably crippled. You know, just as a token, those guys spade for us. Yeah, there's those two. So he's just tossed his cripples way up front.
Yep. Now, the problem with this against this Pelagia lineup is all the Farcaster stuff we've seen. So,
yes.
And we know he was putting the Farcaster stuff on mages that were probably going to spam one of the haze spells, like I think Sulfur Haze it was. And plus, he also had the Frozen Heart spammers, which won't be that effective here, but I feel like if you're fighting into that, you have to like literally spread everything out. Like as far, like use all the space you get in your whole deployment zone and spread things out as far as you can so that the hazes don't affect you as much. It's going to make you a lot weaker if Mass Flight or something comes out, but what are you going to do?
I don't think Jotun has a whole heck of a lot of options, really. You know, he's pretty limited. There's some differences in layout and scripting.
Yeah, but I think some of this too is like a little bit of a metagame thing. Like you're fighting Arco, and he's choosing to finish you off. You know that he has a plan for kill. Like if I were fighting this, and I would know that Arco wouldn't attack me unless he had a plan for killing me. And you can tell from looking at this army that it has a very specific plan, which the giveaway is his Bless and all the Farcaster stuff he's got. That's his way for dealing with the Turbo Communions. He might have had different plans. You know, like if we looked around, if we looked at all the commanders and they had a boatload of gems, you know, we could be like, oh, he's planning on, you know, mass air elemental dropping me or, you know, whatever it was. But I don't think that's his plan. I think his plan is a bunch of artillery mages. Oh, well, here's a bunch of air gems.
Okay. The other thing about Pelagia is the Kraken is sitting at home waiting to drop on top of anything that moves.
Ooh, this could be Fog Warriors too. Yikes.
See?
If this is Fog Warriors, he's in trouble. But you're right. The Kraken can drop on anything. So it's very possible he tries to send the Kraken on this. And, you know, who knows what the Kraken will do.
And he might just use the Kraken just to interrupt movement and gem bait and make a mess.
Yeah.
Burn the slaves. I mean, how is Jotun going to replace slaves now? He's had to commit almost everything to fight.
Yeah.
So where's he getting more slaves unless he buys them?
No idea. I think he's in deep, deep, deep trouble.
Yeah. I think it's game over.
This looks like enlarge and then protection. Oh, moss body enlarge, bark skin protection. Yep, okay.
There you go.
Liquid body.
And a frozen heart.
And a frozen heart. Pretty effective.
Frozen hearts are devastating.
This is a pretty cheap rating squad. This would probably kill up to 10 PD.
In your spell AI, were you able to do anything about the pain in the ass with Frozen Heart that it won't target certain amounts of cold resistance, even though it could punch through?
No, I don't think I did anything with that.
Because I've seen, thugs and SCs with 10 cold resistance, and Frozen Heart should be able to punch through that, but it won't target it. At least that's been my experience.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I honestly haven't really seen that in a game, but I assume it's still true. I know I've heard the same thing about Thunderstrike. If you have 5 shock resistance, Thunderstrike really doesn't like to target you. But
and especially when it's only just a single thug, and Frozen Heart is 10 plus DRN plus double plus for higher path, and I've seen it just fail to blast away at even a single thug, like a Bane or something, when it could actually penetrate, which is a little frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. It could be maybe it's not looking at the DRN, and it's just like, okay, it has 10 cold resistance, we do 10 damage, it's not going to do anything.
It's not enough. Yeah, which isn't really true, because it shows here it's a 10 plus plus, so that's 2 extra damage per extra water path. It's a water 1. It's not at all hard to be pumping it out at water 3 or 4. And anyways, all right.
Okay. So anyway, progress is being made. He's cracked this fort. And it's a Windmaster fort too. I'm sure Arco is going to love having that.
Single turn crack.
Now the problem is, I am rather confident that what he had in here is not going to be able to kill this. Like, Pelagia has managed to now completely split Jotun's armies. And this is an interesting thing that, he didn't choose to go on the cap. If he went on the cap, there's a chance Jotun could combine his armies. I think by doing this move, he has completely blocked Jotun from being able to combine his armies. And there's basically, especially if he magic phases or something and takes both of these provinces, Jotun can't even retreat out of this battle.
I was questioning his decision not to go straight for the capital, but in hindsight, now I can see that looked really good. That looked really effective.
Yeah, I expect this army is going to raid here, maybe even with some reinforcements, and then he's probably going to magic phase attack this, because he's got this army completely trapped, and the only thing is, if Jotun moves this army here, he can have one retreat path, and he could potentially, I think this is the play for Jotun. You move your army here, and you retreat everybody out of this fort, and you try to get one full army together to be able to fight Pelagia.
But Pelagia has a lot of options to mangle something like that. He can gem burn with an airdrop on top that second army. Then he can reinforce by airdrop in that province there. You're showing 17.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities for Pelagia to really make a mess of such a move.
That's true, but I think
it's the best play.
Yeah, I think you have to figure out how to combine your armies. If you can't combine these armies, I think you have no chance.
Yeah, it's game over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think that's it. We're right at an hour. So.
Nice. Well, there's fewer nations now.
That's true.
So our job is simplifying a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and thank you everyone else for tuning in.
You're doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So we're ahead a little bit again.
Yeah, we're set for the week. So.
All right.
Thank you, and see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.